You keep that perverted bloodsucker away from my kids! The porcupine shifter's eyes were wide, the short-cropped hair on her head standing on end, poking out in all directions. Senior Officer Norman Green sidestepped quickly to remain between the suspect and her children. "Ma'am, Officer Ridley is not a threat to your children. I'll ask you again, do you currently have any drugs on you or in your vehicle?" But the woman wasn't deterred. "Just 'cause you give one of 'em a badge doesn't mean they ain't still bloodthirsty." Despite exhibiting every sign Green knew of being high on methamphetamines, including the erratic driving that had precipitated this stop, this bristling woman raised a solid point. It was one Green had been considering during the last month of field training this particular rookie. Ridley wasn't the first Green had supervised, but he could very well be the last. Because, beneath the fresh academy training and vows to protect and serve, Jeremiah Ridley was bloodthirsty. All vampires were. Green had seen that more than ever in the nearly 4 years since the raid on the Wolfenvamp laboratory. It was a different world now, one where murders were up by 700%. Desperation was up even higher, and screening requirements for the Kilhaven Police Academy were down a solid tenfold. Who would want to be a cop now? He definitely understood the appeal of it for vampiric psychos like Ridley, but for anyone else? "Mrs. Verona, Officer Ridley—"
"He'll suck their blood. He'll suck it right through their eyes. I seen it happen."
That was definitely the meth speaking, but Green spared a glance at his trainee anyway. Jeremiah Ridley had the sickly pale skin of every vampire Green had ever met. It paired with a perpetually smug expression on his frightfully red lips, the particular shade of which seemed hand-picked as a reminder of what substance was intended to flow between them. Not every vampire's lips were so vivid. Detective Jason Phelps's certainly weren't, which was a point in his favor, but Ridley's were. It was as if the rookie's very biology, if such a thing existed for the undead, was built to be as obnoxious and unsettling as possible. However, at the moment, the vampire wasn't doing anything that could be construed as a genuine threat toward Mrs. Verona's children. Instead, Ridley did a whole lot of nothing, as the 3 kids sat on the curb next to where he stood with his arms folded. He showed no sign of compassion, just stared ahead into the darkness, not sparing a single glance for the distraught children at his ankles. But in the limited light from the gas station, Green could make out a thick cord of muscle in the vampire's lean jaw, and hear a tick, tick, tick as he clicked his teeth. Oh yeah, the guy definitely wanted to suck the kids dry. Green bet the fangs were even extended behind the tight line of those blood-red lips. Green turned back to the frantic mother. "Listen, Mrs. Verona, your children are fine. And if you were so worried about them, maybe you shouldn't have been driving them around in the middle of the night, high as a kite. Now, are there more drugs in the vehicle?" 30 minutes later, once a family friend had picked up the kids, and Mrs. Verona was occupying herself by yelling hysterically in the back of the cruiser, Green supervised while Ridley did a full search of the Verona's vehicle. Or at least it was a full search in name. To actually qualify, the rookie would have needed to fully search, rather than giving a smattering of locations inside the vehicle, a quick visual inspection. It would have been nice if Ridley's smugness came with a dose of competence, but the former always seemed to supplant the latter. Green inhaled and bowed his head, asking the powers that be for patience. On the exhale, he said, "Were you planning on going back to the center console later, or—"
"Yeah, I'm getting to it,"
snapped Ridley. But the rookie had already moved on to the back seat. No one searched a vehicle like that. Front seat, then back seat, then center console. Added to the daily report.